Before we get into the video, make sure y'all hit that like button, subscribe if you're new. I mean, come on, what are you doing if you're not subbed to me by now? My content is fire, from stop motions, news videos, reviews, music occasionally. All my social media accounts are linked down below, and now, let's get straight to it. What's up, you guys? Thank you for clicking on this video. As you can tell by the title, we've been getting more in-hand images of 86 Magnus over the past couple weeks, and I've been seeing people talking online about this figure, and I've seen a lot of complaints about how this thing isn't worth the commander class price, $90, $100 after tax, basically. So I want to make this video voicing my opinion on this thing, because I'm sure a lot of people want to hear my opinion on this, so I think it's worth the price. I mean, when you compare it to previous commander classes, and most recently the Armada Optimus, I mean, this guy has more accessories than Armada Optimus. He roughly has a little bit more articulation than Armada Optimus. I mean, this dude's got articulated fingers. It looks like he might have an ab crunch, a nice ball-jointed head. And there's no hollowness on this guy at all. He's mostly made out of screws, it looks like. I mean, when you compare it to the previous leader class figures, there would be hollowness on his shoulder racks, in his leg area, thigh area, in the back even. So, I mean, this guy's filled out perfectly. He's got a lot of nice sculpted details on him too. The accessories, he comes with two decently sized guns that have some really nice silver paint. It's pretty much fully painted except for the handles, which is understandable because I don't know why you would want silver painted handles that are just going to wear out over time when you're taking it out of his hands and stuff. And it looks like he has ab crunch. I don't know if I mentioned that. And the missile pods are removable. And that's pretty much the first time we've gotten that in a mainline Hasbro Magnus. I know third-party companies have done it before, but first time in Chug, and I think that's pretty fantastic. He's got, I think it's like 8 blast effects, if I counted correctly. So that's pretty cool. He's got that going for him. They all look like they're reused sculpts. They're not new, which we've gotten before in previous other commanders where they've reused blast effects, so that's not really a big deal. It's just new paint on it. So he's got 8 blast effects, 2 decently sized and painted guns, removable missile pods, really good articulated hands. I mean, I think, well, no, it's about as well articulated as the Kingdom Rodimus from a couple years back. You've got the individual index finger, you've got a hinge at the base of the fingers, and then you've got a hinge in the middle of the last 3 fingers on his hand. So that's pretty great. And he's got the pull-apart feature, which even then, there's still no hollowness on the figure, which is pretty amazing to me. And the Matrix Chamber, look at that Matrix Chamber. I think this is probably one of the best Matrix Chambers we've gotten in the Generations line since it's been made. Look at all that paint, the light blue in there, the bright silver, all those sculpted details. And, Hasbro could have just said, we're not packing in a Matrix with this guy because this Matrix sculpt has been released, like 7 times in the past 3-4 years? But no, they included it to fill up the look and complete the look of this 86 Magnus figure in his Matrix Chamber, and it looks fantastic. That Matrix might even be a new sculpt, but I'm not sure on that. Yeah, I'm looking at my Earthrise Optimus Prime Matrix, and I'm not sure if it's the same exact one. It might be a case of it's a new sculpt, but it's the same details where you wouldn't even notice it. But I don't know. It might be new, it might be not. But even then, they included another Matrix with this guy, which is pretty great, especially for people that missed out on Earthrise Optimus or Kingdom Rodimus or SS-86 Voyager Hot Rod. So that's pretty cool. And like I said, the pull-apart gimmick, which is extra engineering that they didn't really have to do, but they did. Well, for the Commander class price, you would expect it to do that, and it also being from the 86 movie. But what I mean is, you know, when you're thinking of a Commander class Ultra Magnus, you don't really think of them really needing to include that gimmick. I know people really wanted the inner robot mode to be included with it, but even then, they filled it up with a lot of good chunkiness and no hollowness, and they did the removable limbs like what happened in the movie, and it looks like it's via Combiner Wars-esque ports, so that might open up the potential for more playability with this guy in terms of, you know, if you want to have a good time and combining it with other figures. I don't know if that's the same joints as combining ports that we've gotten in the past, but it looks like it. So if that's possible, if you can combine them with other limbs or whatever from past combiners, that's pretty cool. Obviously, that's not something that really needs to happen, but again, for the extra play factor and for the price, it is nice that they included this. And looking at the vehicle mode here, all the wheels are pinned in. He's got 5 wheels on each side. They're all pinned in. 10 wheels that are all pinned in on this figure and fully painted with the hubcaps. They're in a nice silver. It looks like the wheels are a nice thick sculpt, so when you're rolling it around, it actually catches some traction. And when you're looking at the cab of this thing, and you compare it to the Earthrise Optimus, they're supposed to be the same model of truck, I think. And I think the Magnus did it a bit better in terms of accuracy and how the truck looks as a whole. And even when you look at the clear plastic, it looks like clear plastic inserts. It does not look like it's fully clear plastic, those areas. It looks like inserts, which, thank you, Hasbro. That is what I've been saying for you guys to do more often. I know you guys do it occasionally, but if you guys can do it more often, like what they did here with this Magnus, it would be freaking perfect, and it would prevent a lot of issues with figures going forward and figures from the past too. So I'm really glad that it looks like they did clear plastic inserts, and again, it adds to that extra engineering and extra budget that they have with the Commander class that we probably wouldn't have gotten with a Leader class. If this was a Leader class figure, it probably would have just been clear plastic painted white. I mean, that's just the reality. And when you're looking at the truck as a whole, the trailer here, it's got a working ramp, which is way better looking than previous Ultra Magnus figures, so it's got that going for it. And the way you put the vehicles on there, it looks like this guy can fit 2 deluxes on each row, which you couldn't do with the previous Ultra Magnus figures, and I can't remember if you could do that with the Combiner Wars Ultra Magnus. I think you might have been able to, but I can't really remember. The only issue I have with this vehicle mode is maybe more paint on the cab, but even then, that's pretty much accurate to how he looks on the show and in the original toy even. So, I mean, this is almost a perfect truck here. And there's another issue with, it seems like they sacrificed more of a look for the robot mode than the vehicle mode, because the back section of the cab is red as opposed to, I don't know, either black or white. So that looks a little weird, but other than that, this is pretty much almost a perfect truck mode for this Ultra Magnus, and it looks like they really used the Commander budget here with those wheels and the potential clear plastic inserts. If it's not clear plastic inserts, I'm going to be very upset, and I'm gonna backtrack a little bit on him being worth the Commander price. But if it is clear plastic inserts like I think it is, chef's kiss, and I cannot wait to get this guy in hand. Yeah, I think that's all the features for him being a Commander class. And to me, all of that, you add all that engineering and extra accessories and parts count together, I don't know, this feels like a Commander class figure to me. It looks like it's worth the price. I mean, there's no hollowness on him. A lot of this stuff is screws, it looks like, so that's great in case if something breaks and you need a replacement part, you could fix it pretty easily. I just don't see too much of a problem with this guy being Commander. And in terms of his size, with those comparison images we've been getting, He's a lot bigger than that leader class figure. His proportions are better. They're not perfect. I mean, the shoulders are a little bit odd looking. His chest is a little too wide, and the way his shoulders articulate are a little odd looking in certain poses. But I mean, the height is a lot better. And I mean, yeah, I just think he's worth the Commander price to me. But again, if the clear plastic is the whole truck there, that's going to be a big issue to me, and I'll probably retract my statement on it being worth the Commander price. I don't know. I'll have to see a review because I don't think any good reviews have come out yet. But yeah, other than that, I think I pretty much named all the features and extra engineering this guy has for pretty much the Commander class price. That's pretty much all I want to talk about in this video. I just think he's worth the Commander class price from what we've seen so far. Again, if I get proven wrong on some of these things and it's not as good quality as I thought it was, like with the clear plastic, I'll probably not think it's as worth it, or maybe even retract my statement on it being worth the Commander price. I don't know. But yeah, let me know down below, what do you guys think about this Commander class Ultra Magnus? Do you think it's worth the price? Do you think it's not? And give me your reasons down in the comments below. Thank you guys for watching this video, and I'll catch y'all next one. Bye!